Okay, this is like take 3. I'm still trying to figure out the screen recorder stuff, and I don't know if you can hear my dogs howling upstairs in the background, but this is what happens when you have a YouTube studio downstairs and you have 3 idiotic dogs that like to bark when their master comes home, which is my husband probably. So excuse the barking. My name is Natalie. I've been a daycare owner and provider for 20 years in Park City, Utah, and I am going to teach you how to open up an in-home daycare. This is part 2 of my daycare series. I already did part 1 and I will link it right up here. And part 1, I'm going to recap it for you. Part 1 basically talked about, are you allowed to run a business in your home? Because sometimes if you live in a neighborhood with an HOA, sometimes they don't allow businesses in their homes, in the neighborhood. There's HOA rules. So we want to get that out of the way. If you rent a home, you wanted to make sure that it's okay with the landlord that you run a business inside your home. We also went through the house because you can do your kitchenette area. You can do anywhere. You can do a small space for an in-home daycare. I went on Pinterest and showed examples of small spaces that were great little daycare spots. And then I basically went over a couple of questions. If you even like kids, you got to ask that question, and what age you would like, and what would be your niche, so to speak. So we went through those things. So now we're going to go to the part where we have documents that we need to send into childcare licensing before they will even come out to inspect your home to give you a license. So that is what we're going to talk about today. So I talked about the business license in part 1 of our video. I am talking about the state of Utah because that's where I reside. But if you're from another state, you can comment down below what state you reside on, and I will comment back and tell you where to go. You need a fire inspection done in your home. Okay, now we're going to go to our screen here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to request a fire safety inspection. That's what you're going to do first. Now, before you call them, you may want to look on their website. Well, you're going to go on their website. So here is Park City Fire Department District, Fire Prevention and Permits. Now, request an inspection here, permit inspection. So here's an inspection request form. Name, phone number, email, and name of residence or business structure, and the subdivision, lot number, all the stuff. And then it asks you for morning, the day of the week, and you just send that in. Now, the 2 basic things for in-home, you're going to need a fire extinguisher that is up to speed on inspections. So once a year you have to get it recharged and whatnot, the fire extinguisher. So you need a fire extinguisher for sure. And then if you don't have plugs that are up to code as far as, now they have new outlets to where they are child-proof. If you don't have those, you'll want to go to Walmart or wherever and buy plug protectors and stick them in all the outlets where you're going to be running your daycare. So those are the first 2 things. And then if you call the fire department, someone can help you if there's anything other than those 2 things that you need before the fire inspector comes, because you don't want to waste your time and have the fire inspector come and you don't have your outlets covered, you don't have a fire extinguisher. They'll be like, okay, you need this, 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 and this, and this, and this. And then they got to come back. So make sure you're prepared. Go on your county's fire department website and look it up. So that's thing 1. Thing 2, food handlers. This is kind of weird. You need a food handler's permit in order to handle food. My daycare, right now, everyone brings their own lunch, and I just provide snacks. So everyone has their lunch. However, I have to have a microwave. I have to have a meat thermometer. I have to have a thermometer inside the fridge. And I need a food handler's permit. So here on the website, online food handler training provider. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your food handler's test before you inspect. And this is really easy. Look, they've got a whole list. I believe I went to utahfoodhandlers.com. And then I just picked that one. It's $25. I believe the permit lasts for 3 years, which is cool. And I took the test. And then they came out and I made sure that I had everything. I made sure that I had my food handler's card. I made sure that I had the thermometer in the fridge. I made sure that I had a meat thermometer and those things that they look for. They look for particular things in daycare settings. So the reason why they want a meat thermometer is if you have a kid that brings hot dogs, or if you're going to cook hot dogs, they want you to make sure that the temperature inside the hot dog is not in the danger zone, that it's fully cooked. So that is thing 2. Thing 3, you need to be CPR and First Aid certified. Now, with the Rona and everything that happened with that, the COVID-19 stuff, they weren't doing in-person classes for 2 years. Now, when I just recently got it renewed back in August, they said that it had to be interactive training. So I went to the American Red Cross right here, and then you can find a class. You can they'll ask you for your zip code, and then they'll tell you where there are classes being held, if it's going to be in person. But I did an interactive. So part of it was online, and then the actual assessment and test were in person down in Salt Lake City. And they do the first aid and CPR, AED, children's, pediatrics, CPR, and everything. It's all in one bundle. So it was an online interactive class, and you had to take a test, and you can't cheat. You have to watch everything because you get quizzed on it. And then you schedule your assessment, which is in a group setting, and then you do it on the dummies, and then they pass you. So that was acceptable. So I was able to do that. Yay! That was cool. I didn't know what I was going to do, really. Now, let's see, the 4th thing, we're finally going to go, I've got my notes, to our childcare licensing website. So this is childcarelicensing.utah.gov. Now we're going to go here to new licenses and certificates. Now it's going to tell you have an exemptions rule. Now exemptions mean if you watch 4 kids total in Utah, the amount of children may vary between states. So it's 4 kids total here in Utah without being licensed, and that includes your own children under the age of 4. So if you have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, they're counting that as 2 kids, and you can only watch 2 other kids in order to be exempt from childcare licensing. So most likely you'll want to get a license. To become licensed or certified, determine your provider or program type. So now they have center-based, which means that you would go to a commercial business or commercial space, and it would be a center. Then you've got a home-based comparison chart, which is kind of cool. I love this. We can take a look at this real quick. Home-based compared, well, let's go back because I don't want to get to that part yet. So licensed center, here we are. That we don't want to, that's a commercial. Licensed hourly, that used to be me. I had 2. Licensed out of school time program, so that's like an after school program. We don't want that. Licensed commercial preschool, nope. So we want to go here, licensed family. Now there's 2 types of licenses. There's the licensed family, and then there's a residential certificate, okay? Now, I'm just kind of showing you what these are really quick. We're going to go here what the difference is between a family childcare license and a residential certificate. Let's go right here. So licensed family, if you want to be licensed for up to 16 kids in your home, you will need a licensed family childcare certificate. Now, a residential certificate, you can care up to 8 kids, including your provider's own children. So this applies to both. So childcare licensing for 16 kids, if your kids are under 4, they count in the ratios, as well as the residential certificate. Now, the ratios, all children under 4 count in ratios, including the provider and employee's children. Same thing. So here's the difference here for family childcare versus residential certificate. I personally chose family childcare because this is the reason. One caregiver for up to 8 children, including no more than 3 children under 2, when at least one of the toddlers is at least 18 months old. This was a good one for me because I am more in the baby and toddler realm. So I wanted to be able to keep that third baby. As long as that baby's 18 months old, I can have 2 littles and an 18-month-old baby and still have 8 kids total. So that's why I wanted the family childcare. Even though I only watch 8 kids. I could be licensed up for 20, but I don't want to. I wanted to downsize and simplify my life and just 10 to 8 kids. So that's why I chose family childcare license. So the ratio is 1 caregiver to up to 8 children, including no more than 2 children under 2. Do you see the difference? So that's a residential certificate. And then records and documents, you have to do fire and disaster drills to be documented in writing, and a daily schedule of activities must be posted for a family childcare. Residential certificate is not required to document fire and disaster drills, and a daily posted schedule is not required. Training, 20 hours for me. Family childcare, only 10 hours of training per year with a residential certificate. Outdoor play out area, I must have an outdoor play area that's inspected. So they'll come around, the licensing inspectors, with this contraption that's a 5-inch gap. So they check that there's no 5-inch gaps underneath fences that a kid can crawl through, things like that. So outdoor play area for a residential certificate is not required. And then from the Department of Workforce Services, state-funded childcare reimbursements are paid at a higher rate. Eligible for a 400 startup grant from CAC, and then with residential certificates, you are not eligible for any grants. So this is where the childcare licensing website is so awesome. I love it. Okay, so now let's go to actually applying for the license. Let's scroll down. Okay, licensed family, correct? This is Utah. Here are the rules. So let's, I might scare you guys away. Here are the rules. Let's go here. So these are the rules, and this is what it looks like, and it's a lot of rules, a whole bunch of rules. You can read through them at your leisure, but it's not hard to read at all. And the onboarding training will really help you with this, so you don't get overwhelmed with reading the rules. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, to get licensed family childcare, or even the residential certificate, you're going to have to complete new provider training. And I believe that you have to complete this training and send it in before the licensor comes. Here we go. New provider training. Let's go here. Now, you send in your email, and then you go next. Let's see. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. Next. Answer the questions. Will care be provided in your home? Yes. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, it's going to send you to a series of YouTube videos. And that's how you get your onboarding training, which is super cool. Like, I love that. And it's a whole bunch of short videos. And I like it. I thought it was great because you didn't have to go anywhere and you can watch it. I think I'm not sure if you have to watch it all in one shot. I don't remember, but it'll tell you. So read the rules, new provider training, and this is all on the child care licensing website. The websites that it used to be back in the day were crap. This is so much better, so much easier. So as you see here, and submit all of the following: a copy of your current city business license, a copy of your fire inspection, a copy of your current kitchen inspection. So in Utah, you need to create a Utah ID login. That's easy. You go to this website. Here it is. Account creation. Here it is. Create an account, and that's it. Easy peasy, because this is what takes you into all the portals. Does that make sense? So that's why I can go into my childcare licensing website, because I'm already in the portal. So there's that. Let's go back. There it is. Log into your childcare licensing portal. Let's see if we can do this. Go into the Utah login page. Here it is. Let's see what happens. Log in. It takes me to that page, you see? Let's see. So I've got the little fingerprint thingy. Now this is your back office to childcare licensing, basically. That's what this is. So it says, if you see, it says Natalie Pepito, Heaven's Little Angels Facility Home, and renewal request. So once a year, when your license is about to become due, you do a renewal request. I did a change request from hourly to in-home, so I did this back in the day. You have your injury and death report, God forbid, submit documentation, just all the things. Let's see if I'm going to have to reopen. I might have to go back to... I might have to go back to the actual website. Here we go. Back to new licenses and certificates. Let's go back here. License family. Okay, so we did that. Now, you are going to need to get a background check done. And anyone that lives in your family that's over 12 years old, you're all going to have to submit fingerprints. And everything else is, well, here in Utah, it's digital. So submit background check forms, and then it's going to tell you how to do it. How to submit background check forms and fingerprints. So it says complete a background check form for each person. It takes you right here. Let's see, there it is. Authorization and release, and here's all the information that you need to provide. And then submit to provider. So everything is online. So you're going to need to do that. And then you're going to complete a live scan fingerprint and processing form. And let's see. Here it is. This is what you're going to bring to the fingerprint place that you go to. Now, how do you find that? I open up a new tab. Live scan fingerprint. Live scan locations. Oh, whoops. We don't want to go to California. Let's go to live scan fingerprints, Utah. Google is the best when it comes to this stuff. Live scan fingerprint locations. And it seems that this is on the actual childcare licensing website, which is really good. What is going on? Let's see if I can find my face. I'm still here. Okay. So there you go. It's got locations and everything. I mean, what more can you ask for? The thing is to not get overwhelmed. And, oh, and here you go. Let's look at obtaining a license checklist. Check this out. Steps to obtaining a childcare license. And here you go. It's right here. It's all right here. And I will have the links into the description, in the description below. But here it is. Basically, everything that I've told you is right here. So to recap, your childcare licensing website will give you everything that you need on a silver platter. The key is to be prepared before you actually submit your application. So, business license, fire inspection, food handler's permit, and kitchen inspection. Those 3 things and your background checks, all those things will go into one huge digital package sent to childcare licensing. And in the state of Utah, they're pretty good at getting back to you quickly and setting up a schedule and appointment. They're pretty good. And they are here to help you. They really are. I have a very good relationship with childcare licensing, a very good relationship with them. I call them, I stalk them sometimes. There were certain, I was trying to get a qualification and accreditation, and they were so awesome in helping me. They want us to succeed. They want a safe place for children to go to. So they will help us. If you're doing the right thing, they are all there to help. You know, are their rules sometimes annoying? Yes. Trust me, yes. Some of their rules I'm like, okay, that's dumb. But if you ask a licensor why this rule is there, it's because it's happened in a daycare setting before. And this is what they do to try and keep children safe. So there you go. Anyway, if you want to hear more content about that, I'm going to have another series. What to expect when your licensor comes will be part 3. And how to set up a daycare on a budget, all different things. Cycling off of what I'm telling you now. If you like my content, like and subscribe, and that'll do it. I'm Natalie Pepito, and I'm the owner of Heaven's Little Angels, and I've been a daycare provider for 20 years. And I think daycare is so needed in Utah and probably everywhere in the United States. So I hope that there are some people that are willing and love kids that want to make an extra stream of income at home.